At Exeter Guildhall this morning, an air of doubt. Would Alison Hernandez, about to be sworn in as Police and Crime Commissioner for Devon and Cornwall, answer questions about her role in the Tory election expenses scandal? What do you say to these people who are saying you should stand down?
I'll see you afterwards, Michael. I've agreed to do an interview. See you in a bit.
Then to the ceremony the Police Federation says shouldn't have happened.
Please be upstanding for the right work through Lord Mayor of Exeter and the Civic Party.
Last year, Ms Hernandez was election agent in Torbay for the new Conservative MP, Kevin Foster. But an investigation by this programme raises big questions about her role. His campaign benefited from volunteers brought in from outside on the party's so-called battle bus. But the hotel where they stayed and the bus which brought them in weren't declared in the candidate's local spending return, which was signed by her as accurate. The battle bus was instead declared on the Tories' national expenses. The hotel, not at all. Last week, before her election, we tried to ask Ms Hernandez about this, without success.
Just specifically, how can you stand as PCC if the police investigate the election expenses you filed?
I, Alison Hernandez of Torbay, do hereby declare that I accept the office of Police and Crime Commissioner for Devon and Cornwall. I will take all steps within my power to ensure transparency of my decisions so that I may be properly held to account by the public.
Yet Devon and Cornwall Police last week announced an investigation into their new boss, but that they'll farm it out to an outside force, as yet undecided. Conservative press officers from outside the area then tried to limit reporters to just 2 questions each.
Hello, Michael. Sorry, I haven't met you before.
No, that's because you ran away. If you believe in transparency, why did you run away from us during the election? Why didn't you answer questions and allow the people of Devon and Cornwall to decide about your integrity?
I think you'll find that I got elected on Thursday with the result
Without these
on
questions
Friday.
being aired?
They were aired, everybody knew about them, there wasn't any secrecy, was there? Because it was on the TV, and I got the people of Devon and Cornwall put their faith in me to ensure that I'm here to do a really good job of getting the best down to the police and keeping us safe.
Now, you claim that the costs of the battle bus operation, the hotels and the buses themselves, were a national expense. In which case, why did you, on your expenses, claim as a local expense 2,200 canvas cards to be distributed by those battle bus volunteers?
Well, as the election agent, I made a return of election expenses as required by law. Everybody has to do that as an election agent. And the national bus tour was authorised and paid for by CCHQ.
But it was to support local candidates like Mr Foster. In just 29 marginal seats.
Local expenses were on the local expense of the campaign. National expenses were on the national.
But the bus came to Torbay to support
Thank you, Michael.
You believe in transparency. Surely you can answer this question. The bus came to Torbay in order to support Mr Foster. The Chief Constable told us he's now approached 2 outside forces to carry out the investigation into Ms Hernandez. You're going to find it perfectly OK to work with Alison Hernandez, even though there's this suspicion about what she's been up to?
The job of policing is always complex. We work with people in delivering a public service. The construct that's put in place for the governments of policing is a matter for other people.
She could sack you, couldn't she?
Most certainly could.
You've got to be aware of that.
Not at all. Never, ever bothers me. I took an oath to deliver a policing service. That's what I do.
The Conservative Party, nationally and locally, insists that costs linked to the battle bus should be, and always have been, a national expense.
What I find interesting, nobody from the national other parties are making very much noise on this. They also have battle buses that went around. The allocation of the funding of it is a national, not a local commitment.
Meanwhile, Kent Police confirmed to Channel 4 News today that they're applying to a court for extra time to carry out an investigation into election expenses there. That's almost certainly the most interesting case of all in South Thanet, where the Conservatives, of course, beat Nigel Farage, the UKIP leader. Michael Crick, Channel 4 News, Exeter.